present my presentation, Unmanned Military Systems, countless possibilities and also challenges. Goal of this presentation is, of course, present both opportunities and challenges on the other hand, because we tend to forget, especially challenges tend to be forgotten because we have the announcement of such fantastic new meanings and military systems, but challenges are still here and will be should be addressed and resolved in the future years. And there is a detect probable path of development of unmanned systems, especially for European industry. This is my personal opinion, not mandatory. So if there is someone from European industry, they are not obliged to act according to my recommendations. And I hope there will be more laugh at this remark. Okay, tough crowd. Unmanned military systems. There are many variations in the sense of complexity of moving and operating based by the basic domain they are working at. So this simple domain is the air, for example, especially uncontested airspace over the Afghanistan or something like this. No anti-aircraft defense. You have a nice warm blue sky. You can fly whenever you want. So it is a simple domain. And therefore the UAVs are today most developed, most accepted, most widely used in militaries across the world. One complex domain is the ground, because UGVs, unmanned ground vehicles, have to maneuver between the many obstacles, destroyed buildings, destroyed forests, as in this lower picture, landmines, and so on. Therefore, the UGVs are at the beginning of their development cycle. As I said it, as I see it, I believe in them. One day they will perhaps, or most probably, rule the battlefields, but not yet. Not yet. Okay, let's see these unmanned aerial vehicles. When I described the history of UAVs, I started with Predator as defining milestone in the development of UAVs. It is produced by General Atomics. First time flew in the ISR intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions in 1995 over Bosnia. It has a sleek sailplane, elegant shape. It is obviously meant for the long endurance and not for the sudden maneuvers, dogfight, or something like this. It has really impressive characteristics, range of 1,250 kilometers, endurance 24 hours. You fly it into the air and it will stay over there for entire day. First designation was RQ-1. R stands for reconnaissance. And after being equipped with Hellfire missiles, it was redesignated as MQ-1. M stands for multi-role. This really shows the shift into the manned usage. Okay, I took one slide for the opportunities, and on the second slide I am already on challenges. And challenges here are because primarily Predator was notorious for its poor reliability. And some of American DoD officials said that it was the UAV that air forces used to learn how to fly the UAV. Something like test UAV or test meaning. Okay. Almost half of all predators were involved in some kind of incident, and out of almost 270 UAVs bought and purchased, only 100 survived its operational life because before they were decommissioned in 2018, and they had a really interesting life. They landed on houses, farms, roads, even crowded areas, everywhere. They were everywhere. 4 of them disappeared over Afghanistan, never to be found again. So they are somewhere, out there somewhere. For every 100,000 hours that Predator flown, that had been 13.7 Class 8 accidents. These are accidents with more than $2 million of damage. This is very high rate, very bad rate, because for manned aircraft there is the last bullet says F-16 has approximately 2 Class A accidents, and F-15 approximately 1.5 class accidents, so it is 10 times better rate. Because of this, nobody cried when Predator was replaced by the Reaper, MQ-9 Reaper. Reaper also follows the Predator's philosophy, also sail line-like shape, also optimized for long endurance, but it was stronger, bigger, superior to Predator. 27 hours endurance, range 1900 kilometers, higher operational ceiling and such, and weight was 4 times the weight of the Predator, meaning it was able to carry more payload, more communication equipment, more armament and such. Armament was 8 Hellfire missiles or 4 Hellfire missiles and 2 500 GBU bombs, GBU 12, GBU 49, some of these versions, and it had improved brain and sensor unit, MTSB, multispectral targeting system, with visual sensors, color and monochrome daylight, TV cameras. For night it has a shortwave infrared camera, laser designator, and so on. Okay. Enough with opportunity. Let's go to challenges, straight to challenges. Reaper's reliability was better than Predators, but still a lot worse than for the manned aircrafts. Reaper had 3.17 Class A accidents for every 100K flown hours. It was 50% worse than for F-16 or twice worse than for F-15. There is one especially interesting incident when one armed Reaper lost control, flew over the entire Afghanistan. Oh, I have this, I can read here. Okay. Armed forces fighters, manned fighters, barely managed to catch it, to find it and catch it as it neared Tajikistan border and shot it down in the last moment. So very interesting life. Some analysts and even DoD officials, it is interesting, said that remotely controlled UAVs are inherently less safe than manned aircraft. And this is the challenge that will have to be resolved in the coming years, into future period. Okay, if it's of course not critical if a Reaper falls over the Afghanistan mountains, but if it falls over the urban area, it could be a big problem. Okay, there are also a tendency to include unmanned UAVs into the civilian traffic. First was the attempt with MQ-9B Reaper or Reaper Extended Range or Sky Guardian, different names for this basically same UAV. And Army solemnly swore there will be no autonomous flight over the urban areas. Okay, we'll see. We are still young. Challenge number 2, maybe 3 or 4, but I said it's 2. Today, UAVs are inferior compared to the manned aircraft. I said they are designed for the long flight, but not for the dogfight or something so advanced. So UAVs of tomorrow, unfortunately, I cannot point, but these are, I guess, they will look something like this. This on the left side is AI-driven General Dynamics F-16 Vista, and on the far right is Kratos Valkyrie. They are part of the Loyal Wingman project. This is a project that they were unmanned aircraft would fly along and around manned aircraft and protect it, help him, therefore they are wingmen, and try to protect it, even engage enemy, and even position themselves between the manned aircraft and the incoming missile. Okay. As for the unmanned ground, surface and underwater vehicles, it will be shorter presentation. There is a problem, I said, with moving over the complex terrain. Today they are used as the mostly supporting vehicles. We have there Foster Miller Talon tracked military robots whose mission is disposal of explosive ordnance. In the middle is Milrem Robotics, it is an Estonian company. Milrem Robotics Themis Cargo, and on the far right is Croatian Docking Mine Clearance. They have a very interesting motto: don't send a man to do a machine's job. It is a very interesting motto for the future. Okay. As for the armed UGVs, I believe there will be, in the next decade or two, there will be their occurrence on the battlefield. They really can host machine guns, 40 millimeters, 50 millimeters guns, mortars, anti-tank missiles, shaped charge grenades. This looking like tank is Milrem Type X robotics. Not ready yet. Not ready yet. Especially for autonomous warfare. Okay. And this is the future of battlefields. I really believe it. There will be combination of UAVs and UGVs combined. There is a UAV that spots this encircled with red this is the enemy. Then UAVs can engage or inform the UGVs, ground vehicles, and they will autonomously or piloted remotely attack the enemy. This is the challenge number 4, is to put it and make it to work autonomously. And if I'm good with numbers, this is a challenge number 4. And again, not ready yet. Okay, as for the unmanned surface vehicles, they had their moments in the Russo-Ukrainian war. The latest such moment was in February this year, when 6 satellite guided USV, this is USV Magura V5 boats, attacked and sunk the guided missile corvettes Ivanovets. Ivanovets was an impressive vessel, 500 tons displacement. So if you could sink it with such small boats, well, this is a problem for navies around the world. Okay, let's go finally to the European industry and armies in the wake of the new technology. The most prominent example of the large joint European project is Eurodrone. It is a male drone, medium altitude, large endurance drone. This project was funded by France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, and goes back to the 2016, and it's not ready yet. The idea is to gain independence from the US and other non-EU producers. United States will sell its equipment, but under the ITAR treaty or regime, it is the International Traffic in Arms regulations, and they put very strict rules what you can or you cannot done with their equipment. 4 countries had already some experience with male drones. Italy, France, and Spain, they all them had experience with Reapers, and Germany had leased the Israeli Heron TP drone. Okay, Eurodrone should be able to carry out intelligence and surveillance and reconnaissance and target acquisition missions, Eyster missions so-called. It should have impressive endurance of 30 hours and service ceiling almost 14 kilometers, a large maximum speed, and so on. I couldn't resist to put challenges on this slide already. And challenges it's the long development. It's a far behind the schedule. According to the latest information, the first prototype is scheduled for this year. Okay, I'm not that optimistic. The first flight tests are scheduled for 2027. Not optimistic again. And first delivery likely at 2029 or later. If I should put my money for these years, I would bet on later or later. Why behind schedule? Because this is a project that has to satisfy fundamentally different needs of founding countries. As for propulsion and armament and so on, Germany intends to include Eurodrone in its civilian traffic, but and therefore pushed for the twin turboprops for safety reasons. France has a different idea. They meant to fly it over the Africa, so they criticize it for the obesity, this entire UAV. And armament, only after long discussion, Berlin finally agreed that it could have strike capabilities. Okay, Eurodrone will be gigantic UAV, 50% larger than Reaper and multifold heavier. And many analysts argue that it might become superfluous before even becomes ready. Because in the heavily contested airspace, with a good anti-aircraft defense, large UAVs are ideal target. So, not to be mistaken, they are, I wouldn't say sitting ducks, but flying ducks, yeah, thank you. Okay, there is perhaps a more interesting and clever path, miniaturization. This is drawn from the lessons from the Russo-Ukrainian war. This trend spread across the world, over the last decade, but large European Union countries somehow tend to miss it. They don't recognize this trend, and there is a little help. I think they are overly focused on this Eurodrone project, so we will see. Miniature kamikaze drones as this one, and I'm really sorry I couldn't point it. You see this blue-colored little drone that carries RPG-7, I guess, grenade with it. This green is grenade. So it is not only UAV or drone, if you want to call it this way, for ISR missions, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and target acquisition, but also attack. It could be used for attack on the valuable targets. Russians also were surprised by this trend, but they learned quickly. This is the Lancet FPV kamikaze drone, first point view for this on the far right. It has flight duration of only 1 hour, but it has an impressive shaped charge warhead. Far below, this is a Leopard 2, Leo 2, I think A6 version where...
They got Leo A6.
Yes, this is transferred to Ukrainian, and this is this here is a Lancet flying toward the Leo, and this is the final outcome. This Leopard was destroyed. Leopard is not some toy. It is a beast of 62 tons plus, developing on the depending on the equipment, and the cost is $10 million plus. So if you could destroy something like this with a toy, with a Lancet that cost maybe $10,000, it gives you a lot to think. Ukrainians also use extensively their drones. This is little video clip that went into air a few weeks ago. Allegedly, Ukrainian FPV drones found the Russian hangar with open doors and destroyed 2 T-72 tanks, BMP-3, Terminator, armored vehicle, combat vehicle, and so on. In this sense, I believe that a complete change in the military doctrine is in order very soon. Complete new philosophy of fighting the war. There will be no open hangar doors, no exposed hatches on the stationary tanks, and mandatory nets over trenches. This is the image on the right. Okay. As for the European industry, it has a great potential, no question about it. But still, there is a delay behind the largest non-European players, United States, Russia, China, and such. European industry is catching the pace in the. I won't breathe anymore, so I will just talk. It is catching the pace in the recent years because of increased defense expenditures. This is the now what is look at now. You see, only France in Europe. Here in Europe, only France has an, I would say, impressive world fleet, military aircraft fleet. You have United States, and all others are in Russia and here in China. Europe is nowhere to be seen. The same is at the right graph where combat drones are presented. Okay, finally, currently several pathways for the development of unmanned aerial vehicles or unmanned vehicles are announced. Large UAVs, male and hail, high altitude, long endurance could become less appealing acquisition in highly contested airspace. Miniature, inexpensive drones offer many possibilities at the very low cost. The problem is that the countries Russia developed very strong electronic warfare capabilities, and they take them, these miniature drones, hundreds of them each day. Small or tactical UAVs could provide the optimal solution. They are not that large and easily detectable as male and hail UAVs, do not justify the engagement of the costly anti-aircraft defense system, and however, they are still enough to accommodate robust communication equipment to be, let's say, EW resistant. Additional benefits, they are very important for European countries, is each country has the opportunity to develop its own tactical UAV. It is obviously very important for European countries. They are independent in that sense. They can invest in their own industry, and they can tailor their characteristics of their tactical UAVs according to their national needs. At this moment, almost last slide, quantity beats quality. This is recognized also by US Department of Defense. They announced the replicator initiative. They want to procure thousands of drones in the next few years to counter adversary superiority in number of soldiers. Its adversary is here China, obviously. These drones should be expendable, easily replaceable, relatively low cost, and able to operate in all domains, not only in air, Preferably, it should be autonomous systems driven by artificial intelligence and flying in swarms. But this part and many more you can expect in my next presentation. Many more. Thank you for your attention, and it was nice, really nice meeting you all in Budapest, and I can hardly wait to meet you in Miskolc. Thank you.